Get the easiest ways to save.
All right, it's on, it's on, it's on. So we have to make sure we're on there. I'm just checking the Facebook group to make sure that we connected. Oh, we are. It's in there. Good morning, Donna. Oh no, there's a button that says add this person to the camera. Don't touch that. So, drywall makes a nice background. Oh, it's so cold here. It's like -12, -13 degrees. I'm trying to find where I could prop this up because that's something I wasn't thinking about. Oh, you can do all of these buttons. That's not good. It's been a while. Good morning, Amy. Amy, you and I need a date, girl. I'll be calling you. I'll be calling you. Today, well, this morning, we're going to do Miracle Morning. So if you guys don't know what your Miracle Morning is yet, oh, this is going to be a yummy one. Let's see, I'm going to wait for a couple more people just because we have hundreds of people on this group. And for some of them, this is the first time they've seen a Facebook Live, maybe. This is the first time they're getting some oil training. So we're going to be gracious and give everyone a couple minutes. And the fact that it's, 5 a.m. in California where half of these people are. So they are getting their Miracle Morning on. Good morning, Trisha. Oh, this is cool. The fact that it worked and I can see all the comments. I'm going to try, I think, to set this up right here. I wonder if that'll stay. Perfect. Good morning, Heather. And of course, anytime I go to speak, it's like my throat seizes up. I need massive amounts of water. Okay. So this morning, we're going to do Miracle Morning to kick this off. And hopefully, something I say or do will help spur yourself to do a Miracle Morning. And really, what Miracle Morning is, it's all about just creating routine or rituals and things that honor ourselves. And so I remember when I first started oils, I was really overwhelmed because it wasn't something I was raised with. It wasn't familiar. Good morning, Jen. And I got this book because I was so chaotic, kind of in my own head. And the last thing when I got this book was I thinking, I'm going to wake up earlier than what I'm already waking up, right? I had a job outside of the home and I had 2 kids, little kids, and there was no way. I was already sleep deprived. And the only time I might have an hour, half an hour before I just dropped dead at night was at night, midnight, and then all of a sudden somebody needs a snack. So the Miracle Morning, the idea and the theory, it's one of those things that you just have to try it before you totally set it in a closet. And I followed a book by Hal Elrod. It's a short book, it's easy read. And it's all about having kind of your Miracle Morning established before 8 a.m. because most people will leave at 8 a.m. I don't know if that's even true anymore. This book was a few years old. But I looked at all my oils and I looked at this morning routine and I was like, I'm not even using these oils because I didn't know how. I didn't know where to start. Maybe I could use peppermint in my coffee, but I wasn't really drinking coffee. So I guess that peppermint I might as well throw in the trash. So it was actually I started Miracle Morning just to get some time to maybe shower. I know all you moms know what that's like. That's why I'm wearing a hat today. There may have been some hair washing that needed to happen while my kids have been juiced from Christmas. So when I looked at the oils, and I'm the type of person that I cannot start like 10 new things. I mean, I can, but I'll usually drop out, walk away, forget about them, quit them. So Miracle Morning for me started with the time clock. And I started to get up at 7, and I was thinking I'll try to 7 to 8. I was really lethargic. So we all have our own time clocks inside of us. And usually we're not all on the same rhythm, just because we don't follow the practical, gravitational pull with Earth and the moon. And so we're kind of more on the Gregorian calendar, the 9-to-5 jobs. So we're already a little out of alignment with Mother Nature. So what I found, you have to play with your time. What I found was 5 a.m. was my time. So my Miracle Morning starts at 5 a.m. So I encourage you to find your time, and it might not match up with your spouse's, but the ideal situation is to get it before your kids. Get up before your kids. And then the first thing I want you guys to do is have a glass of water. If you do nothing else and you hear nothing else from this call, that's fine. But when we have a glass of water and we add a drop of lemon essential oil, we are communicating with our cells to hydrate for the day. Because if we do not send that message, then we're sending the message that we sent all night. While we were sleeping, we weren't hydrating, so we are dehydrating. And if you wake up, we always have to go to the bathroom. It's not like our body all shuts down. It's still working. Our liver is still flushing to our colon or our kidneys. Our kidneys are still flushing to our bladder. Our bladder's full, right? So let's wake up and say, hey, we want to align with you. So we're going to fuel you up with some H2O. So when you're drinking oils in water, glass, ceramic, stainless steel, don't use styrofoam or plastic. But maybe if you're like, I will never remember that, put the glass of water beside your bed the night before. Well, there's no harm in that. Water will be fine. So that's the first thing I do. My feet have not even hit the ground yet. The other thing I do before my feet hit the ground is I take balance. So balance is our grounding blend. And a lot of times, as we're sleeping, we're not grounded. Our houses are no longer built to be grounded. We're usually sleeping in second stories. There's lots of space. We've just been dreaming. So we have to come back to earth, in a sense. So if you put balance right on the inside of your foot, that's the reflexology point for your spine. So it's going to be a head to toe grounding first thing in the morning, like 3 drops each foot. So that's step number 2. And you guys, this is not like you have to do all of these starting tomorrow, but if you just say, I'm going to start drinking a glass of water every day, and I'm going to do that for an entire week, and then I'm going to do balance. That's perfect. That's how I started. Now these are really turned into non-negotiables. Okay, so the third thing, you're putting your feet on the ground, and these might seem really trivial, but you stand up, and I want you guys to literally reach your arms as far as you can above your head, and then swan dive, which means you're hinging at the hips and your back is straight, to touch your toes. That's it. Wake up and stretch and touch your toes, because there's something that happens when we move our body. We drain our lymphatic system, because it's like a one-way faucet, and it gets plugged, and it really gets plugged when winter's here. Seasonal threats, maybe, whatever those compliant words are. So we have to move our bodies to support our lymphatic drain. Reach up, touch your toes. If you can't touch your toes in the beginning, that's cool. Ain't nobody seeing you. First of all, it's 5 a.m., right? It's still dark. But then you by touching your toes or reaching that point day after day, you're going to start to see your body physically change because you're stretching it out. So you're going to start to get some instant gratification on your own body's mobility. And that feels really good. And it feels good to stretch out your back. Okay, then I wander into the bathroom and I brush my teeth because I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I got a dragon that sleeps in there sometimes, maybe like all the time. Sometimes we call it a dead animal. Whatever. I go right for the On Guard toothbrush. Toothpaste. They need a toothbrush. When I scrub. Because the other thing is, your gums and your mouth harbor lots of funky stuff. So we're just going to keep it clean. And you're going to hear more about that later. So then after I leave the bathroom, I don't really do anything else. I don't do like my face, my makeup. None of that happens. I'm worrying about my internal self and my physical body right now. Here's the key to why I believe I stay incredibly healthy through the seasons. And it is basil. I think it's one of the most underused oil because this one is brilliant for adults, safe dilution for children. And I put it behind my ears. And I don't know, in the Salah world, we called it milking the ears. I don't know if it's the same way. I'm going to show you guys. You take your 2 fingers. So you're going to put the oil right around your ear, front and back. Take your 2 fingers and roll like this. You're going to drain your entire face with that one motion because it's all going to connect. And then you hit your collarbone and you can tap. That's how you drain your face. Everybody that does that looks younger too. Then if you're really kind of feeling a little gummy, your body's just lethargic and slow, do some jumping jacks. That's what I love. I can't say never. I don't go to the gym. Not my bag. I would rather do jumping jacks by myself in front of some awesome YouTuber who's doing yoga. So touching my toes and doing jumping jacks was what I could do. Physically, it's not like I'm going to have rock hard abs from it, but the point of movement is for lymphatic support. That's what we're focusing on. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that when I talk about DDR Prime. So, Miracle Morning, all kind of physical stuff. Then I want you guys to do, Miracle Morning has a few pieces, and the whole thing is about creating honorable rituals that fill your cup. If you imagine your body and yourself as a bank account, what happens all day? You make withdrawals all day long. So we have to fill that bank account early in the morning. Fill it up. So no matter big or small withdrawals, you're like, no big deal. I got juice. I got lots of juice. And because you know where that juice comes from, you can take a break at lunch and refuel if you need to. So the next thing I do after I do a little bit of wiggling, meditation. My 2 favorite oils. There's multiple oils, but I go for the beasts. My good old king and queen. Rose and frankincense. Rose goes over my heart and on the inside of my ankles, and frankincense a drop on the top of my head. And I do those before I do my meditation, before prayer, and I just try to get quiet, right? So sometimes we gotta close our eyes in order to see. Meditation for me is really just disconnecting from those senses so I can hear. And that looks very different. Some of you might read a Bible entry. Some of you guys, the 108 Transformational Rituals by Dragon Tree. That's a brilliant, really simple book. If you're like, I don't know where to start and I don't really know what mine's going to look like, that might be a good start for you. And then after my meditation, then I like to journal. And you guys, when I talk about this could be 3 minutes in the beginning, because I remember I didn't know how to meditate because I didn't really know what meditation was. So if anything, just try to close off your senses. Just try to get silent. That's it. Start there. So I get into journaling. So now I'm all like zenned out, right? I just want to like meditate for hours. That can be procrastination. I got a lot of that sometimes. I'm getting over that. That's my past. So I go for the wake me up. Drop of peppermint. Ooh, hear that? It's cracking of a new bottle. It's almost as good as seeing the castle at Disney World. Few of you might appreciate that. Breathe it in. Peppermint, open up the airways, right? So we have to come back alive, wake our senses back up. And then the other thing I get into, Motivate rollerball. I love the rollerballs because they're swanky. They're easy. They look sleek. Black cap, anything black is my fave. Motivate. Those are my 2 oils. Okay, start to come out of meditation. Let's wake back up. You got to put some words on this paper, girl. Like, that's how I'm talking to myself. I get my journal. I might write 1 word. That's all that came to me. That's cool. It might be a picture. It might be some things you collected out in nature. Drawing is not, or journaling is not just pencil to paper. It can be 3-dimensional. It can be paint. It could be color. It could be a word. It could be objects. So you do your thing in that area. But really try to spend some time in there just hitting all these marks. So after I journal, then I'm like, all right, I gotta hit reality. Who am I gonna call to start my day, right? Because for me, Miracle Morning is just kind of like my thing. It's part of almost like my sleep. I haven't really started my day yet. Oh yeah, cracking the new bottle. I know, I just cracked a new bottle. Ugh, yummy. All right, so first things first, I'm in the kitchen now. If you guys have it, you just imagine you're like walking through my house, stepping on Legos. Copaiba and frankincense. Can you even see these? Oh my gosh. If you only have 2 oils, these might be the good ones. Directly 2 drops in the morning right under your tongue. Maybe have a glass of water or a glass of orange juice. These are both taste like wood, taste like a sweet wood, but light. They're not like icky. They're delicious. Put 2 drops under your tongue. I'm sure somebody on this call, probably Jen, is gonna be talking about why those 2. The other thing I actually started adding in, and I forgot, is 2 drops of Siberian fir in a capsule, a veggie capsule, and I make that and I take that in my mornings too. And I'll talk a little bit about that when we talk about Siberian fir. All right, so I've got 2 oils. And then I'm drinking. Have you guys noticed that something's missing here? Some of you are probably like, she's missing the Mac Daddy coffee, right? No, there's no coffee in this Miracle Morning equation right now. Not yet. We are still drinking water. Water, water, water. By this time, I probably have 3 to 4 8-ounces bottles of water already consumed. And the thing is, when you get off coffee first thing in the morning, your body is going to be telling you, oh, I actually like water. I need water because I'm made of water. All right. So then I go to my vitamins. And the reason I go to my vitamins is because my favorite organ is the brain. My favorite skeletal structure is the skull. I like everything that goes on up here. And I want to support it and I want to nourish it. And if we are not properly nourished with enough minerals and vitamins and enzymes, you can have the best oils in the world and your body's not even going to absorb them. So very, very important to start your day off with those vitamins, high nutrient dense food. We'll go into the details. Everything is going to get into details. So right now, you guys just saw my Miracle Morning. You guys, this is all, that could all go down in 20 minutes or it could all go down in 3 hours. It's really up to you. What you want to do, I really try to just focus on 1 hour a day. And I will say the days that I do my Miracle Morning, I feel like I have control, that the universe has my back, that the days are going in favor of what I desire. And the days that I may oversleep or I snooze my alarm 50 times, I never catch up. It's always chaotic from here on, you know, the whole rest of the day. And it's just not worth it anymore. Now that I know how awesome it feels to like live in alignment, it's like being high on life. It's awesome. So I take my vitamins and drink some more water. And you guys, water is key. I didn't realize that because I lived about 10 years dehydrated. And I was a huge coffee drinker. And I drank everything actually. So I didn't really like hold back on anything drinking. So I lived dehydrated, and I didn't know what it felt like to have my cells be happy. And so I went through, I don't even remember where I saw or heard it, but somebody's like, oh, do the water challenge. And I was like, what is a water challenge? Like getting like all 5 Great Lakes? Because that'd be cool. No, they're like, drink your body weight. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you're going to drink 150 ounces of water for 3 days. That's a massive amount of water, right? If you don't drink water, there were weeks where I didn't drink a glass of water. So, I mean, that's a lot of water. So I want you guys to try it. Hydrate your cells, because what the hydration is going to do, it's going to allow your cells to work more efficiently. And everything is cellular. You guys are going to get a massive amount of information in the next 3, 4, 5 days. You're going to be using your cells to process that, to solidify it, to organize it. You're going to be exhausted. You're going to be on Facebook. Your attention is going to slowly drain. And the other thing is, as you learn, you're going to be using a lot more oils and a lot more products than probably what you're used to, just because you're going to know how to use them more effectively. So you want water so you can process all of that really efficiently, and you're really getting the most benefits. So I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try to drink, my body weight in ounces of water. I will put up a little like pinned post, and anybody who wants to do it at the end of the 3 days, I'll give away some swanky water bottle to one of you who made it. I do a drawing for it. And I want you guys just to notice how you feel in your body right now, and then how you feel in your body after 3 days. You know, check into mental clarity, you know, maybe some soreness or tightness, you know, just really poke around there and just, how do you feel? Yeah, and I think, and then I have the last thing, a cup of coffee. If you gotta go for it, after you do your Miracle Morning, go for the cup of coffee. Oh, and somebody else, if you thirsty, yeah, go get all that water. If you've done that water thing before, and you have an issue of going to the bathroom maybe all night, and that's disrupting your sleep, the key to that is drinking 2/3 of your water by 1 o'clock. So just get it in your body earlier in the day. And that's how you can slide through that. So that's my Miracle Morning routine. And you guys, when you're starting and you're doing, just pick one. Pick one, do it for a week, add another one. If you feel really beastly, do them all. It'd be awesome. But really notice how you feel after you start beginning to integrate these oils ritually, right? Because oils are plants. Oh, I forgot this one. See, you do these Miracle Morning things. I knew there was one more thing I had to say. Breath. The first thing, we heat with wood, so the first thing I go for is a glass of water. But between the water, I also want you guys to pay attention to your breath. Because even right now, you know, just see where you are. Is it shallow? You know, if you're sitting up, do you feel your breath? Your lungs expand in your belly? So breath, it's our prana. It's our breath of life. And why I love the breath of life is first thing in the morning, we would not have breathable oxygen without a relationship with our plants. And that's what essential oils are. So we can be so grateful for that relationship even before they become essential oils. So really taking in a breath, close your eyes, try to get your air all the way into the deep parts of your belly. And as you're breathing, if you guys don't know how to breathe properly, as you're breathing in, count, and then you count the same amount as you breathe out. Does that make sense? So breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm full. And then you exhale 1, 2, 3. And really try to expand, counting up to maybe 10. And see how you feel about that. Because also oxygen. We need oxygen. And we need water. Because you're going to be processing a lot. It's going to be awesome. This is going to be, I'm so juiced. I haven't really slept in days. I shouldn't be telling you that because I'm so excited. But have a great morning, because I know Jen is coming on in, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, half hour. Time is illusion. So see you guys later.